to build friendship with our countries. And I remember this melody came through, and I wrote it down. I'd like to share it with you now, and just offer this music as healing music for our planet during these challenging times, and during these times when there's a new birth happening of human consciousness. So this is the garden. Enjoy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And so I'd like to give a little short talk here on labor, since it's Labor Day, right? We're coming up tomorrow's Labor Day. And as you all know, Labor Day is in honor of the labor movement in the United States, which is really a movement of the work to honor and celebrate the working class, which I think is so important. It's really the foundation of the prosperity and the abundance and harmony and peace, really, that we experience in the world is from not from the ruling class, it's really from the working class, from those of us who are doing our best to build a healthy society and healthy communities and contribute in our communities. It's a very beautiful thing. And so a lot of people worked very hard to get Labor Day actually created. And to me, there's a spiritual dimension to Labor Day because it has to do with the concept of contribution and working, right? And so we're on this earth, and a lot of us feel this sense that we're spiritual beings. And as spiritual beings, we really don't have to do anything, right? We're spirit. We don't have to like do something. We can just shine and radiate and be, you know. But the thing is, we're not here on this earth just to do that. We're here actually to do something. We have bodies, we have fingers and hands, we have a mind, we have words, we have tongues, we can talk, we can work, and we can do, and we can create. And so really, I think the important thing to understand is that we only have a few short years here, really. I mean, you know, that's another whole talk, but basically, I remember when I was maybe 24 or 25, I was in Oakland. I was taking a class at Laney College in Chinese. And the woman who was the teacher was from China. And she said, you know, if you ever go to China and you act like you know something, like you're an authority about something, and you're not at least 60 years old, they will just laugh at you because it's a traditional society that honors the elders. And traditional societies honor the elders. And if you're not an elder, like who the heck are you to say something like you know anything? You know, you got to be at least 60 years old and have some experience, some actual work experience, life experience, and then you will maybe have a chance to be respected. So I remember when Madeline and I, a number of times we've gone to China to give lectures on my book, The World Peace Diet. And I was so glad I could stand up in front of the people and say, well, you do have to listen to me because I actually am 60 years old or older. And they all laughed. They knew what I was talking about. But I remember when I was 24 or whatever it was at that class, and she said, you know, no one will take you seriously until you're at least 60 years old. When you're 24, 60 years seems like forever, right? That'll never happen to me. I will never be 60 years old. And it's just a finger snap. And here I am, you know, just the other day I was 24. Now I'm in my 70s. But the whole idea is the time passes quickly and every day is precious. And our time is the most precious thing we have, really, how we spend our moments. So the title of this talk is Outer Work, Inner Work, Secret Work. So I see, you know, I don't have that much time, but I want to just hit the main points because we'll have a workshop right after the dinner and we can go more in lunch. We can go more into it a little bit on the 4 Viharas, which I'll talk about. Vihara, actually, I'll just mention what that is. That workshop is on the 4 Viharas. Vihara is an old Sanskrit word that means home or abode. So Vihara is the 4 Viharas are the 4 aspects of our true home. In this ancient practice, probably one of the oldest meditation practices on planet Earth, maybe the oldest. That's actually, it goes way, way, way back before books and everything. And then it was written down in the Vedas and the Upanishads, I guess. But it's an ancient Indian practice. It's very simple. The 4 Viharas are Maitri, which is love, Karuna, which is compassion, Mudita, which is joy, and Upekkha, which is usually translated as peace. Love, compassion, joy, and peace. These are the 4 aspects of our true home. And so getting back to inner work, outer work, inner work, and secret work, the main point I really want to make here is that we're here to really engage in all 3 of these types of work on planet Earth. So we should be definitely rolling up our sleeves and contributing in the outer work. there's a lot to do, right? And we can be like, it was so beautiful to just be in here and during the time that you have of sharing, taking care of each other, calling, sending prayers. This is building a community. In the Buddhist tradition, for example, I might have mentioned this one time here, but the last time we were here, there's the three jewels, which are the most precious things: the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The Buddha is the teaching. The Buddha is our true nature, like the Christ. The Dharma is the teaching, and the Sangha is the community. And the idea is that without the Sangha, the community, there will never be any teaching or any enlightenment, any possibility to manifest the inner Christ. So when you're contributing to this community, the unity community, that's work. It's time, it's effort, it's thought, feeling, and so forth. That's building the most precious of the three jewels, a spiritual community, without which there will be no teachings. Without the teachings, our whole society collapses into tyranny and misery and suffering, self-centered delusion. So it's the most critical thing we can do is to come on this earth and do the outer work to build a community of kindness and caring and sanity. It's a great saying by Krishnamurti. He said, it's not a good idea to be well-adjusted to a profoundly sick society, right? When we go out there, this society, there's a lot of materialism, a lot of delusion, a lot of conflict, a lot of exploitation of humans, animals, ecosystems, all of that. We're surrounded by that. So it really requires these seeds of light and doing the outer work to support each other in our practice. So the outer work is gold. That's the real contribution that we can make. But even more important than the outer work is the inner work. Charles Emerald Fillmore always emphasized this. So did Jesus. The emphasis is without the inner work, and that's what the Four Viharas in a sense is like, the inner work of cultivating and radiating love, compassion, joy, and peace in our thoughts, doing the inner work to quiet our minds. This is such an important thing because, we're born into a society where we're wounded from the time we're little kids. We're banged around, we're criticized, we're all kinds of stuff. And we have to compete with each other. We see each other as separate. We have to manipulate each other. That's the society we're living in. So the inner work is to raise our vibration higher so that we see with eyes of compassion and we understand and we care and we quiet the mind because we're getting bombarded by media and messages all based on fear. That we have to be afraid of germs, we have to be afraid of each other, afraid of terrorists, afraid of political people, all this fear. And so the whole idea is to come into our hearts every day without fail. First thing, I think doing it in the morning is a good idea. And connect with our spiritual source, the root of what our being is. That's the inner work. And when that's in place, then the outer work comes naturally. We know. Not only that, we're enthusiastic about it, and we don't have to worry about being diligent. Now, the most important of all the positive qualities we can ever have, just one quality that's the most important: diligence. Without diligence, we'll get nowhere. With diligence, nothing is impossible. Diligence, practice. See, the thing is, when we practice, when we just do our best, and we do the inner work, then it's not even diligence anymore. It's joy. It's like, wow, it's great. I love helping out. I love it. It looks from the outside like diligence. Wow, they're always helping. They're always doing something. But it's really just the joy because we realize that we're only on this earth for a few short decades. It flies by. And when we leave this body, what's going to matter? It's not going to matter how much we accumulated. It's going to matter really how much we loved, how much we could care. So there's the inner work, there's the outer work, the inner work. They support each other. What is the secret work? That's an interesting question. And what I feel with the secret work is that's the work that if we're doing the outer work and the inner work, we don't have to do the secret work. It's actually divine grace. That's the real work that's happening. That's the most powerful work. We are here by divine grace. The trees are growing. We don't have to make them grow. The flowers and fruits, the spring, the sun, the moon, the rain, the wind, the stars, the way all of our blood cells know what to do. There's an incredible investment of universal intelligence in each one of us, massive intelligence that keeps this physical organism just going. Why is that intelligence invested in us? So we can do the inner and outer work that we're here to do. That's really a beautiful thing. So the secret work is always going on. The secret work is the divine work that makes this all possible. So that's in a sense, the feeling we can have that we can let go and just trust and do our best. Because the secret work of the Most High. There's this beautiful saying in the Old Testament in Proverbs, and let those that build the house, unless the Lord builds the house, they labor in vain. So the Lord is the Lord. Now the Lord is really our true nature, the infinite love that is the source of our life. When we let that do the work, right? When we let that come through us, that's the secret work. And the beautiful music that we hear from Matthew, he's getting out of the way and he's letting this come through. And Charlie of the poetry, letting it come through. This is the secret work of the Most High. So I want to thank all of you for all of your inner work, outer work, and letting the secret work flow through. This is really the real labor. So much love. Thank you very much for all your efforts. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.